Well, look, some things are excuses and other things are reasons. Not having Embiid on the floor is a reason why you lose. Look at the difference when he's on the floor with James Harden versus when he is not. Their offensive rating just falls basically off the table. What they are on the bottom there, to give you a sense of how significant that is, they fall down like into the bottom 5 of the league. That's somewhere where Portland and the Pistons were living. And so, again, I want to start with J.B. Bickerstaff here because you coached James in Houston when he was at his absolute apex. And I think a lot of people wonder, does he still just have the physical ability after all the years and all the usage and everything else just to flat out beat his man? You saw Tim did a really nice job of demonstrating what they're doing to him defensively in our first hour today. Does he still have the ability just to beat his man and get that offense started?
Yeah, I think he does. I don't think we've seen the last of the best of James Harden. What I think we need to do is see a lot more of him earlier. I think what's happening now is he's playing a lot in the half court. There's 10 eyes that are staring on him and shrinking the floor and not necessarily giving him an opportunity to attack early.
Which means what? How do you get him? They need to get in transition a little bit more because he's kind of walking it up the floor.
Yeah, they need to get in transition more and set more screens in the backcourt. And I'm going to say something that goes against everything I believe in.
Okay.
They need to play smaller. Spread the floor out more. Find all their shooters. Put all their shooters on the floor. They're athletes. Let them get up and down. Create space for them.
Who are those guys in Philly, Timmy? You know that team better than anybody. How do they go small?
It's tough because the guys they're going to be counting on are very inconsistent right now with what they're going to provide. I mean, Niang is a guy that can get hot and string them together. He couldn't buy one last night. Danny Green is a guy that really helped them in a closeout game in Toronto. Did not play very well last night. Korkmaz is a guy that really has been shelved here for a while. So you're dusting him off, and they did it last night to get him out there. So I just think their depth is an issue. It was an issue coming into the playoffs, even with Joel Embiid. Their depth's an issue. But when you have Joel Embiid, it makes up for a lot of that.
Part of the reason, Brian Windhorst, that their depth is an issue is because they traded a lot of it to get James Harden. And that really does sort of feel like it is becoming increasingly the storyline in Philadelphia right now. They have hitched their cart to that whatever it is you hitch to something else. I never get that expression right. But whatever it is, they are James Harden's team now going forward, right, for better or for worse. And right now that looks a little questionable.
Yeah, I think what JB said is right. This is what people think that they should do is go small. Stop playing DeAndre Jordan or their collection of centers. The issue is they don't really have a good small lineup to use. And you mentioned earlier, James Harden, 5 of 13 in this game. That is now an average game for him, 13 shots. He had the number 1 shots in the NBA in 2019 and 20. But let's push those Rockets years away and just focus on when he was in Brooklyn for a season and a half. Still averaged 17 shots. He is only averaging 13 shots a game this season with the Sixers, only 13 shots a game in the postseason. And quite frankly, I know it's a very basic stat, but if they're going to get a chance to win games in this series, they need James Harden to get up more than 13 shots. But right now, with the defense the Heat are playing on him and where he is physically, he doesn't seem capable on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think, you look at James Harden, I think it's hard to imagine that it can be gone that quickly, that level of scoring ability. I think it is because you look at him now, this is the 13th consecutive game he has not scored what his career playoff average is. I mean, in Houston, he averaged 28 points a game in the playoffs. For his career, it's 23 because you have Oklahoma City early, the Nets later. It comes out to 23, still pretty darn good. He's got 13 straight games he hasn't had 23 points. He's topping out at 22. And don't you think a guy on that level, when his team needed it, could still go out there and get you 25, 28, or 30-point game? I don't know that James Harden has it in him, especially when the Heat are not going to allow it to happen. They're going to put bodies in front of him no matter where he goes and make it incredibly difficult. So, yeah, it's easy to say, hey, get up 20 shots. That's really what he needs to do. But are they going to be 20 good shots? I mean, what is his shooting percentage going to be? And what's it going to look like if he forces the issue on 7, 8 more opportunities when it's really not there for him?
So, Wendy, at the risk of being premature here, I'm going to ask you the $250 million question, which is if this thing goes in the direction that it looks like it's going, and again, you don't write anything off, and maybe they get Embiid back when they get home, and maybe things start to look a little different. But sitting here where we're sitting here at this moment, are the Sixers just going to give him the supermax, whatever that contract is, and he just become the Philadelphia Hardens for the next 4 years, no questions asked?
That is sitting in the lap of owner Josh Harris. That is going to be his decision. I will tell you this, as I talk to league executives, they say to me, if James Harden was in the middle of a $200 million contract, like he had 2 years left on it, they would be worried about that. The concept of him looking like this at the start of a $200 or $250 million contract is unthinkable. And we know Daryl Morey is heavily invested in him, but it's ownership that's got to sign off on it. The issue is, when they made this trade, they knew they were not just trading for James Harden. They were trading for James Harden and the right to pay him that. They mortgaged their depth and their future to do so, and they're painted themselves into a corner with it.
Give me a very quick take on that, Legs.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, how could you sleep at night really giving that kind of money to a guy that's looking like this right now going into it, and you think about what that would look like. Now, the good news is they still do have Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
So James Harden is not their best player. Joel Embiid is, but you're definitely married to that combination going forward for the foreseeable future.
All right. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.